Hi, I'm just going to record a couple of quick plays just to see how the spaceships can do against the engines. The engines have got a kicker, and then the spaceships do not have kick returner. So we're going to roll 2 dice for the kickoff, and they can choose the best of those. Now a 5 would be here, which does mean it could still be returned, but chances are they're going to get it better than the touchback. So I'm just going to take the 2, which means that the spaceships are going to take the touchback. So it's going to be first down on that 25-yard line. So I'm going to set the guys up. So just to talk a little bit about the spaceships. On most teams, your 3 will be like your biggest weapon. You want to make sure you're using him. On this team, particularly, they've got this guy who's got team player. So you probably want him on the line, preferably on an edge. Probably also want a 5 on the line. And then the 4. So I'm going to look at opportunities of creating ways how I can get blocks on those edges ahead of making runs. I need legally to have another player on the line, and then I'm going to have these 2 guys set up in the backfield. So lots of options against this, or lots of options to run from this. I can either run this as a passing play with this guy being my QB, or I could run it as a passing play and pass the ball off to this guy and then have a little bit further range. Or I can do what I'd really like to do in this situation, which is use the lead blocker, use the team player, and use the fact that this guy's got run block and juke, try and punch a hole somewhere round here, and then hand off to this guy and have him run all the way through. So let's see how that works. One thing that I have seen some people do is put their 3s on the line, put their 4s on the line. The problem you've got if you do that is that you'll quickly find out that, in fact, I'm going to swap the 4 and the 3 over. You'll probably find out if you're doing that, you then can't use the 3. He's like your strongest guy, your biggest weapon. And if you've got him stuck with an automatic -2 from guys that are in contact with him, and then stuck with all the other minuses that go with it, he's not going to be going anywhere. So I'm going to set the engines up, and I'm going to set them up with this guy here who's going to be blocking in that direction, because he's already going to be at +3 against this guy. So I've then got this guy's got teamwork. I need to have someone in contact with him, but I don't want it to be somebody too low, because otherwise he's just going to beat them up. And then this guy is the guy with lockdown and defensive adjustment. He is really good on defense. And then we have these 2 guys. I'm going to pop them in the backfield just up here. Now, the spaceships are going to call a play, and the spaceships are going to do exactly what I just described. We're going to try just doing a run straight up the middle. So I'm going to start with 66, and then I'm going to, let's try, no, I'll tell you what, let's go to 33 first, and then go to 66, and then we're just going to go to 7 twice. Punch it straight up the middle, and then we'll go back to 33 and try and get a bonus activation. Okay, and then for the engines, let's start with start with 33. And then let's go to 43, who's got a nice positive block over there. And then let's go to 51, 51, and 62. Okay, and then motion for the spaceships. I'm actually going to discard 51's card twice and motion two guys with a half move. So this guy is going to here, and then this guy is just going to here. Right to there. And that just sort of cuts down a lot of their options for how to run guys. So the DC are going to throw away 55, 55, and we'll go with 33 is looking a bit stuck now. We're going to throw away we're going to throw away 33. So that's 3 cards called. So I'm going to give this guy, for this play, he's also going to have lockdown, which is apparently what our particular DC opponent is doing. So click flip next, and I'm going to do it manually here because it doesn't work when it's the AI. It gives you an error message. So 33 and 33. So roll off. And 6 and 6. So the offense breaks the tie. And I think offense will go first. 1, 2, and then block on this guy. He's going to be at +3. You should get the green dice. Full success. Which means this guy can go 1, 2, 3. I could just run straight through. 4. Tempting. Wasn't my original plan. This guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and open up that channel. Pin this guy a little bit more. Okay, so for the DC, I could just burn his card because I'd be at -2 on either of them. So, you know, with the +3 as well, so +1 overall. But it's generally not a good idea, particularly on defense, to go for +1 blocks. So flip. Oh, I did the same. I did the thing I said I wouldn't do. So we've got 66 and 43. So 43 is this guy. I think now it's probably quite obvious I'm going for a running play. So we either stick with 43 or we could read and react. But I don't know who the best person to read and react to is, so I'm just going to stick. So 9 and 5. I'm going to make these guys go first. So 43 is going to step to here and is going to go for a block at +3. Full success. This guy can come 1, 2, 3, and I will move with now let's move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 6 is going to move 1, 2, 3, and then duke this guy at +3. Cool. So I move to here, and he would follow, but he can't because of the rules about diagonal movement. So then I'm looking for a follow-up block. So now I think 5 is going to go 2, 3, and he's also going to hit this guy. He's got +2 from these two guys, so I'm just going to throw in one more card to make it a +3. Which means this guy can then move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now we've got 51 and 7. So now I wish I'd double stacked with the 6s. I didn't think I'd be quite as successful at punching a hole through. But let's roll off. I don't think these guys are going to be worth them reading and reacting. Because if you read and react, you give your opponent a chance to read and react. So that's going to be 11 and 9. So these guys can go first. So 1, 2, and then using his defensive adjustment ability, 1, 2, 3, and that's pressure for 1 card. So just a random card. Turned out I actually got 66, I didn't mean to do that. 7 is going to move there, so that's going to be 2. 3, and he can't move again. He could just go 2, 4. No, so that's 3 because of the defensive adjustment. No, so because of lockdown. So that's 4. And then this guy 1, 2, using the adjustment. And we've got 51 and 7. So that's 7 and 12. So I will go first with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Might not be able to make much impact, but I can at least potentially slow it down from being an easy tackle. So 51 is then going to move 1, 2, 3, and this guy can move 1, 2, 3, 4 for another card. So now I've got 62 and 33. Yep, I'm happy with that. 3 and 1, so that's 9 and 4. So this guy can go first with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't quite get round. So 33 is just going to go for a block on this guy, and with the bonus of adding in 2 cards, I can make it a... I thought one of these guys, it's him who's got the team player. Okay, so yeah, with bonus of 2 cards, it's now +3. Cool. Which means this guy can step to here for 6, block this guy. I'm going to throw in 2 cards again to make it a +2. Which is a partial, but unfortunately doesn't mean I can carry on the movement because I've used 6 movement to do that. So with the free activation, I'm going to activate 62, 2, 3, and using the adjustment, I'm going to go... Oh, sorry, that was only a partial activation anyway. So now I'm playing cards at hand. So these guys haven't got a lot of options. these guys are going to just go with 6. So flipping those 2 over, roll off. So that's 6 and 6. Short of making a block, I don't think these guys can do anything. And I don't think I really gain anything by doing so. More likely to just give away a free activation. So 6 is going to move 2, 3, and then go for a tackle. There's that to make it a +2. And then 2 more cards to make it +3. Cool. So a nice gain of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 40 yards. And 1, 2, 3 time cubes used for a run, 1 for it ending via a tackle, 1 for it going over the first 5 cards. So a nice long run play, eat up as much clock as possible. Okay, and then we will have a second down just here. So I'm going to try and do a passing play this time. Let's see how that works. I don't think this team are as set up for a passing play as they are for a run. But on the flip side, I am able to drop these guys a little bit deeper if I want to. I don't think these guys have got an exceptionally good blitz. And they've got nobody with blitz, they've got nobody with shove, they've got nobody with block +1. Oh, they've got this guy with block +1, but I can shut that guy down quite easily. And they've got a guy with teamwork, so yeah, okay. I don't think they're going to be doing a blitz to the standard of, say, Revolt or some of the other teams that are really heavy blitzing. So let's go. I'm going to leave this guy off the line this time, just because last time I put him there and he got his fingers burned. So let's go. The only downside to this is that by putting the 5 and the 4s all on the line, I now haven't got a real threat on either side. I've got a 5 on this side, and then I've got a couple of 6s just guarding this side. I might swap over those two. No, these two are the wrong way around. Cool. Yep, so I'm happy with that. So I'm trying to shut this guy down, not give him any really easy options. He's still got that guy, but that's not as good. This guy's still got that guy lined up, but of course he's coming in to smash him. So if I'm looking at this from an offensive perspective, I'm looking, he's going in there, which is going to leave potentially a bit of an opening for him to run into the back. Let's see how that pans out. So I'm going to go with 41. Then I'm going to go with 33. I'm going to want to run 67 deep early and then try and get some sort of benefit off the back of it. So let's put 41, 67, 33. And then I'm going to make a late run with 7. And then we're going to go to 66. And I'm going to make that decision on card number 5 as to whether this is pass or run. Okay, so for the defense, they're going to try going a little bit of blitz with 33, and then we're going to go to, let's double stack 33. and then we're going to double stack 51, and then I'll go to 72. Okay, so I've got a lockdown guy on this side. I'm going to give this guy lockdown when it comes to it. So no motion this time from the jets, and in the DC are going to give 2, 3 cards in to give this guy man defender. Sorry, lockdown. So flip next card and flip next card. So we've got 41 and 33. Okay, 33 wins it. So 33 is going to come in here, exactly as everyone expected, and hit him for a +3. Partial success. Not going to follow it up because that just makes this gap even bigger. Plus it would mean he was pinned by both of these guys. However, that does give me a free partial activation, which is going to be 1, 2, 3. And then this guy can move 1, 2, and go for a block on him at +3. Cool. Follow up this time, and this guy is now freed up to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice end zone threat on that first card. Annoyingly, he's the next one up though, so maybe I should have actually run with 7. Anyway, now we have 33 and 67. Okay. Yeah, I suppose I could have done a read and react, but I've rolled it now. So 67 is kind of useless anyway because he's just run already so far. I'm actually going to run across the back of the end zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which means I shouldn't really have run out at the end of the last run. So 33 is going to move 1, 2 and block this guy. He's already at +1 for the difference, +1 for the teammate, and +1 for block +1, so it's +3. Cool. And free activation is going to be with 51, moving 1, 2, 3, and then this guy 1, 2, 3. I'll go to there. So now 33 and 51. And that's 8 and 8. So offense breaks the tie. 1, 2, and hit this guy at +3. Ooh, that would definitely be a reroll. Or would it? What do I stand to gain? I don't think they're really in a strong position to capitalise here, so I'm not going to re-roll it. So a free activation for these guys, then I've got 51's card. So a free activation could move this guy 1, 2, 3, and then a partial would be 1, 2, still doesn't get me to him. With this guy, the same, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the partial would get me to there. So I might do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on 51's turn, we're going to move 1, 2, 3. And then this guy can move 1, 2 to get some pressure. However, as you can see with the initial, that should have been 2-card pressure. With the initial audible called, and then with their aggression on burning cards, the engines are burning through cards much faster than the spaceships are. So this is just one of those instances where I think you just have to bide your time. Okay, so we've got 51 and 7. So that's 11 and 6. So 51 could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still can't really get there. 7 could take the risky hand off and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That gets me up to a 5-yard gain. But I did say I didn't want to try and make this a running game. I wanted to try and see if I could do a pass. If I go that way, he's just going to dominate. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that the best I can do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still can't get to the outside. So yeah, let's go there. And then 51. So 51 is going to just jump back to there, and then we can move this guy 1, 2, 3. Because I have to say I'm still a little bit nervy about having him in the end zone. $66 and $72. So that's 12 and 66. So that's 4. There's not a huge amount you could do. I suppose actually I should have done a read and react there. I'll pretend I did. And let's just keep the initiative roll as it is. So 6 can then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Discard that. Now, I think if there was one guy there and I knew he'd spent his card, I'd have been tempted with the end zone shot, but I'm not going to go for it. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. And that discards. Okay, so we're going to go to 33. And then I'm going to go on this side to 62. Okay, and no read and reacts. So that's 8 and 9. So 62 could go 2, 3, and that brings this guy 1, 2, 3. That's just asking for trouble. So 33 is going to go to here, and he's going to block this guy at +2 at the minute. If I throw in 51's cards, I can make it a +3 block. So now I've got the choice of either running it or trying to get this guy down and then throwing to him. And I promised to throw it in place. Let's try it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So let's go again. I'm going to go with 6 and 67. Oh, not 67. 66. This guy. Okay, and flip those cards over. Ooh. think, having won that, it's probably put paid to any ideas of me going for that passing play, because well, I could sort of throw to him, but I now don't have that card to bench boost with. Let's try it. Step to there, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 67's card, which is his, and then 2 other cards, and I'm going to call it a bullet pass. So with a bullet pass, it means that it will scatter, but if it doesn't get caught by the end of this play, it's incomplete. So this is way riskier a pass than I would normally make, especially with this much open running room. Would normally just go for it. But let's try it. So this is +2, and it's -1 because of this guy, and they're going to throw in that card to make it -2, so it's evens. So an evens throw. When you roll dice like that, it all works out well in the end. So yeah, that's 2 for it being a pass. 1 for it going over the first 5 cards, and that is 6-0 to the Spaceships. Can I go for the extra 1 and get it? Now, on defense, these guys are absolutely awesome when it comes to stopping the... oh, by the way, I did build in this button, and it works. It works great, but only if you've only got one team in your hand. When I play when I play one player, I tend to keep both decks in one hand. I know the original Automata suggestion was to have an AI in a separate pile and randomise what plays they were making. But I found that tended to result in you ending up with some very poor choices of cards played. I think it makes for a far more entertaining and closer game if you actually pick them manually. Okay, so the kickoff, these guys don't have a kicker, these guys don't have a kick returner, so I'm just going to go for a normal deep kickoff. See, and that's not good. And they're going to return it. Whoa, okay. So the kick went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and was then returned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be a first down right there. So I always put the ball 1 ahead so that I can line everyone up. And I'll probably finish this game up at some point, but the main thing I wanted to show you was the the Spaceships offense. So again, a typical formation I'd probably go with would definitely have a 5 at snapper. I tend to do that unless I've got a team where they've got, say, the Packers, so the Greenbacks, they've got a guy who's got team player and pocket protection, so he's really good to have centrally. Sometimes I put him off centre and put a 5 next to him, but yeah, I vary it up a little bit. It also depends who you're playing against, obviously, because if it's a team that are really heavy blitz, then he's going to be crucial, and if it's a team that are not so heavy on the blitz, I can maybe start using him as a weapon again. Yeah, anyway, thanks.